Today we put all of our faceplates on our outlets. We wired our switches and we put our faceplates on. We put both of our lights up, our smoke detector. We have our bathroom ceiling fan hooked up and wired. We have the light fixture above our vanity wired, and we also installed about half, 3/4 of our flooring, and we sealed our shower with waterproof coating. Mistakes would be on flooring, just maybe cutting pieces wrong, but it's nothing too big. Just make sure something that helps a lot is when you have like an L you have to cut out, go ahead and draw like an X on whatever has to be cut out, just so you don't get confused when you go to your saw or when you go to score it, you know what side you need to keep. Make sure to go back and watch the middle portion of this video. I'll talk about how we have to lay out the flooring, and there's a lot of good tips and stuff in there. So go ahead and watch that if you have any questions about our new layout for the flooring. So today you're going to need a drill with a Phillips head, if you prefer that way, to wire your outlets and your switches. If not, you're going to need a screwdriver. This is also going to be used on your faceplates. You're going to need your wire strippers, just for hooking up all those wires and tying them together. When you go and you paint the shower with waterproof coating, you're just going to need a normal disposable paintbrush. And then after all that's done, when we go ahead and move to the floor, you're going to need your tape measure, your utility knife, your speed square, and your mallet. Right now we're just putting our waterproof coating on the corners in our shower. So what we did is the same thing as if you were to mud a corner. We just used the coating, painted it in the corner, and then we got roofing membrane and we put it in the corner, and then we painted back over it just to give our corners some waterproofing, because there is a little bit of spacing and gaps. But when you get to the actual drywall, then you just paint it on. Just because any big clumps here, it'll just make it harder to set our tile and it'll get in the way. So I'm just trying to keep the surface as level as we can get it. So we just got done wiring our three-way switch. All a three-way switch means that you're controlling one device or one light off of two switches. So it gets a little tricky because we add a fourth wire, which is our communication wire, back and forth from the light to the other switches. We tested it out so you can see that our light works. So when you get to your three-way switch, all you're going to have is there's going to be a black screw, a ground screw, and 2 gold screws on the top and bottom. The black screw is something new, and that's where you're going to put your hot wire. And the way to tell if your wire is hot is it should be the wire wrapped around your red and your black. So you're going to unravel that, and that's going to be your hot wire. The next step is going to be hooking up your ground, so that goes to your green screw. And once those two are hooked up, what you're going to have left is a black and a red wire. Doesn't matter where you put them. All you have to do is do the inverse on your other switch. So right here, I have my black wire coming to the top, and on this side, I have my red wire coming to the bottom. So here I have my black wire coming to the top and my red wire coming to the bottom. So that means that over on the other switch, I'm going to have my red wire at the top and my black wire at the bottom. Everything's the same. Our hot is going to the black, our ground's at the green, except our red wire is coming at the top and our black is at the bottom. And it's just the opposite of what it was on the last switch. And the reason we need it to be like this is because every time you turn the switch on and off, power to the light is coming through a different wire. And the way to test to make sure that your three-way works properly is by turning the flicking the switch on and off 3 times, because you have 3 wires that can act as your power. So if the light successfully turns on all 3 times, then you know that your switch is hooked up properly because it's able to send and receive power through all 3 lines. You want me to show you? So there's 1, 2, 3.
So what does that mean? It works?
Yep, that means that all 3 wires are communicating and power can be sent back and forth through all of them. And just sometimes your switch will sit a little bit crooked just because the wires in the back are pushing on it. So you can move the wires to give space for your switch to sit flush.
Sorry.
Edgar, if this doesn't fit, slap me. If you haven't tiled your shower yet, then just go ahead and hold off on the flooring in the bathroom just because how messy it'll get. So we're waiting to tile till tomorrow because the tile saw got here a little late. So what we're doing right now is we're tiling our hallway and our bedroom. The only thing that is very important is that you need to start your layout from the hallway. So what we did is it's important to start from the hallway because the other units go in this direction. So we started laying out a full this row right here, just full 4-foot sheets all the way down. And then once we got to the end, we made up our last piece. But because the way the tongue and groove in the flooring is, you have to lay it out going this way. But if we have to start in the hallway and we have to lay it out going this way, that means that after we have our first row right here, let me see, we know we're doing thirds. So what we did is, we know we're doing thirds. So what we did is we came from this piece and we know that 1/3 of this piece is 16 and 32 because it's a 48-inch piece. So we came from this piece before any of this was here, where these two meet, and we put our tape measure there, and we came out and we marked on the floor 32 inches, which would be right here. And then we did the same thing at 16 inches. And then from these marks, let's see, so this is where 32 lands, and this is where 16 lands. So from these marks, we were able to pull our measurements off the wall and get 25 and 41. And now we have our short pieces for this side, which is 25, and this next one will be 41. And doing it this way, you can start laying out in that direction because you need your tongue facing up. You can't have you can't lay out in the direction of the top of your groove. So that's why you have to start knowing what your short pieces are going to be. That's the only difference. But other than that, once you get going, everything's the same. One thing we did do that I'm not sure you have to do is we cut a 3/4 strip to go along this this groove in the door. We're gonna have quarter round going there, so it's not gonna matter if you do or you don't do it. Me and Jasper just decided to do it because we weren't sure what was going there yet. So it won't hurt if you do it. Just one other tip is you have to be within 1/2 inch from any wall. So if you take your carpenter's pencil, it's 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch. So to check if your baseboard's going to cover it, just turn your pencil sideways and run it down your wall, and you're able to see if you're within 1/2 inch.
Well, today they did their electrical trim. They put in their plates. They wired in their switches. We have a fan control, which now is working the light. This is a three-way, actually, this is the outdoor light. And then this is the three-way switch that they put in that works over at the other end of the hallway. So if you hit that one, that'll turn it off, and then we'll turn it back on here. So they got all their lights in. They started their flooring. They've got about, maybe half of their flooring put in. So they should have that done in a couple hours tomorrow, and then they'll start putting in baseboard. They got in the bathroom. They waterproofed the walls in the shower. Getting ready. They're going to actually start tile work tomorrow. They've got their exhaust fan put in. The exhaust fan also has a light. So if you look at that up top, the switches are here. And that fan and light come on at one time. And then they also got the light on over the vanity. They got their GFI receptacle in the bathroom put in. So tomorrow they'll finish up flooring, get started on the shower. They'll probably get, 2/3 of the shower done tomorrow. And then all they got left is vanity, baseboard, and some door trim. So they're doing really well. I expect they got about 2 more days worth of work in here. And they should be done. But what they've done looks really good. What else can I tell you? No, really proud of their progress today. They did great.